Good day. Welcome to another session of K Explain. In today's lesson, we will be talking about instructional design, and this is part of the Unit 2. And there are several definitions of instructional design models which developed through the years. And in order to help facilitate learning most effectively, these design models provide guidelines to organize the practices of creating instructional experiences, as well as the appropriate pedagogical setups to achieve, of course, our instructional goals. And class, better learning happens in a dynamic setting where a school caters to the needs of the 21st century learners, and in which the teachers display these qualities or the attributes that can effectively carry out active instruction. And of course, in order to have a strong instructional design, teacher training that can enhance innovative pedagogical skills must be given in order to improve instructional delivery and, of course, sustain student participation and interest in the subject or the course. There are several other modes of delivery that can also be very effective for the 21st century learners. At present, with all the available online learning resources and access to the World Wide Web, schools, especially those that can spend a reasonable amount of money to e-learning, allow their students to experience a campus that is connected to the internet. Also, curriculum planners and teachers, for example, who use technology must consider technology evaluation of instructional technologies in order to quantify the impact of technology integration in the curriculum, particularly to student academic performance. And of course, assessment of content, delivery, and digital infrastructure must be done to know the extent or the level if this have the most positive impact on student learning as they possibly can. Technology also, or the technology tools, can fundamentally transform the learning experiences if integrated properly in the curriculum for students. There are alternative delivery systems that can reach out to learners from all walks of life, varying from ages to the areas of interest, like, for example, the ID or the ISD or the instructional design. It is also known as the instructional system design or the ISD. Now, let's say, for instance, visualize a teacher at work. What do you see? Most of us imagine a person standing in front of us or in front of the group of students, talking to them, giving them information, demonstrating something, and asking questions or monitoring group of work or homework or sit work, like, for example. Those of us who are teachers might also picture ourselves at our desk or at our own kitchen table, grading a stack of papers. It is natural to think about teaching in terms of performance in front of the class. So as children, we absorb an understanding of what teachers do from what we experience as students in the classroom. We were also aware of the teachers' delivery of information, their interaction with us and with our fellow students, and of course, the activities or the assignments they required us to do. What we were generally not aware of, though, was the work of our teachers did to plan what we would learn and how we would learn it. This is a deep work. And this is a deep work of teaching, designing an instruction that takes a teachers deep into content and deep into consideration of their students' learning. And of course, what is instructional design? So this is a question that many people are asked. And in this presentation, we will answer the question. First of all, instructional design is the creation of instructional experiences which make the acquisition of knowledge and skill more efficient, effective, and appealing. So let's look at in detail. The first part is instructional design is the creation of instructional experiences. These are experiences that a learner or students will go through to acquire the new knowledge and information. The second element here is the desire to make the acquisition of knowledge and skill more effective or efficient or appealing. So let's take a little bit detail about what instructional design is. Instructional design really includes three major components. First is the set of tools that an instructional designer works with. Second is the different groups of people that an instructional designer works with. And finally, instructional designer works within the organizations. And so let's talk about each of these in a little bit more detailed. Instructional designers work with the different kinds of tools. First is the instructional design process. So there are so known processes that an instructional designer goes through when creating instruction. This can include the ADDIE model or the systematic design of instruction. Instructional designers use these processes to ensure that their instruction is creating effectively and efficiently. The next tool is the Instructional Theory, which offers guidance on how to help learners or the students to actually learn. And this theory actually informs what the instructional should look like and what types of strategies should be used within the unit of instruction. The final tool is the physical tool. And so this includes technologies that an instructional designer uses. So other examples are the pen and paper and e-learning, of course. And these are the types of tools that an instructional designer uses. Now, instructional design becomes somewhat complex because you are also work with people. The first is their management. The individual or the management has a very direct influence on how instructional designers perform. And also, instructional designers also work with SMEs or the subject matter experts to really give them some strategies that will benefit the instruction and the learners. The final group that an instructional designers work with is, of course, the learners or the students or you. And so, the instructional designers really needs to know what the target audience is, what they already know, and how they learn effectively so that they can actually help the learners acquire the knowledge and skills that they desire. And the final component that we are talking about is the organization that an instructional designer works in. Instructional design takes place in many different organizations, including the government, the higher education, or even the Department of Education. And depending on where an instructional design is taking place, there are many different ways it's actually implemented. Instructional design in the government is going to be different with the others. Same with the higher education. The ways that instruction is approached is different than, let's say, in the K-12. And so, all of these factors really have an influence on how instructional designer works. So I hope this is to help clarify what instructional design is. There are many available videos for you later so that you can continue to learn about instructional design. So that's it. For comments or questions you would like to ask or some clarifications about instructional design, you can type your comment on the discussion board for us to have a better understanding of what instructional design is all about. Again, I am Dr. Kenneth Samonte, and see you next time for another session of K Explain.